Hi guys, welcome back to the new edition of this particular YouTube channel, Analyze with Adeayo. Alright, so in the previous video, I actually dropped the showdown between the basketball first quarter strategy and also the first half basketball over. Actually, we were able to get 12 odd with our first quarter basketball over, and we are able to get 4 odd for the first half basketball. So between these particular two markets, actually one usually give us a very big odds, like maybe 1.8, 1.9, and the other one, the odd that you'll be getting from it will be around maybe 1.4. So the first half basketball, we actually add court one on it, and this particular 3 game came out so well, and just one game messed up the sleep. And this particular game that messed it up, actually, I don't know what you will predict in that game that you would have won, except that you predicted the home team to actually win the game. That's the only thing that can save you if you bet on this particular game that you guys are seeing on the screen. So this is the only game that messed up the sleep. Two which involve just basketball first quarter, first half. So the other one, which happens to be 12 odd basketball first quarter, the game that actually messed the sleeps up from our other sleeps of first half over, also messed up the sleep here. And we have another game that actually caught Brooklyn Nets against Charlotte Hornets. We predicted the game as first quarter over 55, but I think the game ended up as 53 total points in the first quarter. Actually, I know that with the odd that the bookmakers are currently allocating to this particular market of first quarter, it is one of the dangerous markets in basketball, to be sincere. It is one of the dangerous markets in basketball. So for this particular game, seriously, it's just that, sometimes in sports there are some things that used to happen, abnormal things that used to happen. Regarding to this particular game, I would just assume that it is the abnormality in sports that happened here. Alright, so in today's particular video, I'm going to show you guys how you can also make use of the basketball first half. But for me currently, because there was a particular time this particular basketball first quarter was working out so well, and I've been trying to look for maybe a bookmakers that will be providing odd line that is kind of very low, or a low odd line, because looking at that particular game, Brooklyn Nets game, we predicted it as over 55.5, and the game ended up as 53 first quarter. Had it been that we were able to get a bookmakers that provide odd line that is kind of a little bit stiff, because looking at the odd alone, 1.8 odd, 1.9 odd, you should also know that the probabilities of winning that particular game is very slim, because when it comes to odd allocation, the odd that we are seeing, they are like probability when we convert it into percentage. So alright, so in this particular video, someone actually said something in the last video that I should review to you guys how I predict this particular basketball first half. I've already made a video on the basketball first quarter before, and this particular first half, I created the strategy of recent because of the inconsistency I'm currently experiencing regarding to the first quarter. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I do my analysis to get basketball first half. So please kindly make sure that you pay attention to details. So I will make use of this particular game, Philadelphia against Washington Wizards. So what I usually do is just that I look into the last 10 games of each teams, and the average points scored in the last 10 games. So for Philadelphia, I'm going to get the average points scored in the last 10 games. And that is if you calculate everything together, what you just need to do to get the average point is add all the points scored by the home team, add everything together and divide it by 10. And for Philadelphia, what I'm able to get happens to be 112 points, 9. So you are going to do the same thing for Washington Wizard. So you are going to check the last 10 games again. So the points scored by each team is what you are going to look into only. Their average points scored in the last 10 games. Add everything together, then divide it by 10. And for Washington Wizard, we are able to get 114.4. So these 2 points, average 2 points scored, is what you are going to add together. As you guys can see, we are getting 227. Then you divide this particular 227, divide it by 2, and we are getting 113. Now this 113 happens to be the average point, like the odd line that we can actually walk around with for the first half. But to me, I always see this particular average point that we are getting as a very risky attempt. So sometimes if I want to play safe, I always subtract points from it. I can subtract 10. That is if I want to play safe. But most times you will not see any bookmakers that will provide you with the odd line of subtracting. After subtracting 10, you will never see the odd line. For example, we are having 103 as the safest option, the safest odd line for this particular game first half. But if you check the bookmakers plus odd line, you guys can see even the normal odd line that we got from the analysis, 113, is not even here. Currently we have 117 at odd of 1.46 odd. So you guys can see how these people usually allocate odds. Sometimes it is always tricky. So if you want to risk the game, you can go for over 113, exactly over 113. But if you want to play extremely safe, just subtract them from it, or subtract any number that you feel like, depends on how safe you want to play the game. So I'm going to use this particular strategy on some other leagues too, like maybe Brazilian league, this particular league that you guys are seeing. So I'm going to check the Botafogo in the last 10 games, their average points scored, and the average points scored of Botafogo happens to be 68.9. Then I add it up with the average points scored by the home team in their last 10 games. So this is what you just need to do for all other games, and just it is very simple and very fast. So you just add it up, 77.6, and we are able to get 146.5. Then divided by 2, we are able to get 73.25. Very simple and very straightforward. So 73. Then if I want to go for this particular game under the Brazilian league, then I will go for, if I want to play just normally, I will just go for over 73. But I think the bookmakers are currently providing us with another odd line that is a little bit smaller compared to that of what we are able to get, and that is 72.5 at odd of 1.36 odd. Alright, so please, if you have any question regarding to this, please kindly drop it in the comment section, and don't forget to like our video, subscribe if you are just joining us, and you can also join any of our group. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.